All right.
Yeah, we haven't.
Your first runner is to go all the way back to Goramite land to be like, hey, come send a fort, guys. Not, hey.
We literally just got the door open, dude. Like, we couldn't have done that yet.
So, hold on. I mean, all right, guys, we just came back from break. So,
okay.
Welcome back. Number 1. All right, the gate's open. It's working. Niran just talked to the to Nugresh in the basement. That's where we're at. Okay, so I know we should be considering like moving forward a little bit to getting to the trait vote for the last hour here of our game today. So let's
well maybe
what else
we
do we want to do before we kind of like push forward to being back together again?
Can we say, because I want to have this conversation with Onan, but I don't think it's unreasonable for us, just for the sake of pushing the fiction along as well. Like, because like Onan would know whoever he's sending would have to travel via Oleg's trading post anyway. It would make sense that we would go back to the trading post altogether. And
I'm not leaving the fort.
I mean, for like fictional purposes, we could just establish a scene anywhere and be like, here we are, all of us, like sometime later talking about this.
Does trait vote have to be in character?
No.
Trait vote is not in character, but
like this conversation could be all of us.
The reason is I want to bring everyone together, but I wanted to, like in character, I would definitely have this conversation before Onan sent word to his church. Like, that's because I also want to get a feel for like how much authority Onan actually wields in the church via like an affiliation. Yeah, I mean, if Onan would not leave the fort, period.
I'm not now. No, I have a duty now. I can't leave. I mean, I can leave for, like expedition purposes, but I can't leave to go have a conversation.
Well, like when you could theoretically leave, like to like go ensure that your man is able to ride safely out of like wild country into Brevoy.
He's a Goramite. He doesn't need someone holding his hand. But like, okay, so first of all, I'm sending the thing from the fort. Do we want to have that interaction then? Because I'm sending the letter to my church. Like, that happens.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's fine.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I want to have that conversation before he sends the letter.
Okay. Well, I'm handing it off.
All right. So have this conversation. Where is it taking place?
I would make sure it was happening with a crowd nearby.
Okay.
I mean, we're in the courtyard. I'm handing it off to my Goramites.
Yeah, sure.
There's plenty of people around.
So I would say, Onan, we need to speak.
Yes.
About this church you plan on.
Obligated.
Why do you feel that you have conquered this temple? I remember taking this place with words, not swords.
You took some of its number with words. I took the fort with swords. The owlbear, the stag lord. There is no argument there.
It's not the stag lord's fort. It never was.
That is not true. That is provably not true.
This is land claimed by Brevoy. Banditry does not mean right. The bandit never owned this land.
Oh, so you could have walked in here without me, is what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
Then you're wrong and shut up.
Let us have a conversation, Onan, like civilized men.
He doesn't sound like Onan wants to have that conversation.
Yeah, I don't see any basis for it, Father. You're trying to tell me that because you did some words afterwards, you have some claim on something that, by right and law of my religion, I have to turn into a Goramite temple. I can see already where this is going, and I can see no route for you to succeed.
What I'm saying is that there is a middle ground.
Very well. Tell me.
I've heard you speaking of my beliefs, so I understand you are familiar with my particular sect of the Church of Avatar.
I am more familiar with Abaдаrism, period, but I know that you have a unique sect. Doomsayers or some such.
Yes. Ronan, I believe that the storm that shall shake the world is rising in this land, in the Greenbelt. You have seen these old powers awakening, have you not?
Yes, they're pathetic and weak. You have nothing to worry about.
That remains to be seen.
At least by my sword, they are pathetic and weak.
So I'm going to interject here and say, like, as this conversation happens, like, Mason emerges from the dungeon and quietly joins the conversation. And shoots you, like, a meaningful look when you say exactly that, but I have not yet to interject.
Now, can you put emotional flavor on that meaningful look?
Yeah.
Like, I disagree.
It's something to the effect of, I remember talking to your sister about this while you were sleeping, and you're proving my point. Please don't be this way.
I'm sorry, I can't communicate that with a look, so I just get a look and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll say, Onin, before you begin a war, what do you do? How do you test the forces of the enemy?
How do you test the forces of the enemy before a war? Well, if you have the luxury, you engage them in minor skirmishes.
Exactly. And do you send your champions, your strongest forces, when you're gauging the strength of the enemy? Do you send your elite troops?
Yes. Often, usually, as a matter of fact. If you're going to gauge the strength of the enemy, you would use what you have as a barometer. Your weakest is not a good barometer. Your strongest is a great barometer. A Goramite army and Enlightened Goramism will always send its most elite expedition to its untrained, the untamed frontier, the unknown. If they come back dead, we know we have to improve. But if they come back alive, they will have an exact metric of the enemy's strength. More
Sure.
exacting than any Greenhorn could possibly acquire.
Sure, but would you say that most armies operate and think the way the Goramites do about this matter? For the sake of the analogy.
I would say that most armies do not have the capacity to operate the way that Goramites do. But if they had the luxury of sending their best, I think they would have.
What I'm saying is, these are the tricklings, the beginnings, the start of what is to come. The wind is just beginning to pick up. The storm has not yet begun.
Consider this, Father. If you are proposing that the storm is coming from this land, that this feminine entity is the source of your doom, consider how much she has relinquished to us.
Not the source, but the harbinger.
Very well. She's already lost considerable strategic advantage. She had an army and a commander and a fort, and now she has none of those things.
It would be a fool's act to judge the worth of that which is supernatural by the metrics that we connect.
If they intend to fight man, then they will fight man on man's terms.
Onin,
You are wrong.
here's what I ask. How long ago was Thrain around? Like 400 years ago, something like that?
We didn't really fill that in. It was because I said like brackets. When I wrote the document, I put like
500.
brackets an appropriate amount of time to Eric because Eric knows the history of the world. I don't, right? So I said
I know the
it's
history
been
of
an
the world.
appropriate amount
Okay.
of time.
500.
Long ago.
Enough.
So-
I leave spaces, man. I leave a lot of blank spaces to fill in.
500. He's saying
So-
500.
500?
Sounds good.
Okay. So I'll tell you, 5 centuries ago, your great-great-grandfather Thrain.
Great.
Yeah, but,
Ancestor.
your ancestor Thrain, that's the name, right?
Thrain. Zolstan. Yep.
That was out of character, by the way.
Right, that's the name, Thrain? Okay, got you, buddy. Compound, shoulder.
Your ancestor Thrain took Goramism and wrenched it into civilization.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm asking is that 5 centuries later, the son of his son's son, repeated over all of these many, many generations, defend that civilization.
I have no disagreement with anything that you're saying here, but what you've said here does not include, and don't make this fortress a temple of Gorum.
I'm coming to my point. In what is to come, Abadar and Gorum, I believe the signs point me that they must meet hand in hand. We destroyed that owl bear together. That was a portent of what is to come.
I have a suggestion, Father, and I think it is symbolically relevant. All Gorumite temples are fortresses, and all Abadarian temples are banks. I think you should be campaigning for the trading post to be your temple, and I will have no qualms about such a thing.
Not all of our temples are banks.
I must, to some extent, Father, what I think...
We offer a diverse portfolio of financial options.
There are many temples that the Abadarians can build for you. Would you like this beautiful most... No, anyway.
We offer condominiums and a very...
At acceptable rates.
What I am suggesting...
Timeshare.
What I am suggesting...
We totally do offer timeshares.
Is that...
You can feel like royalty. Fuck, I'm sorry.
What I'm suggesting, Ronan, is that you work to take another step with your church into... I'm trying to decide how Demetrius would phrase this because he's so much better at this kind of stuff than I would be.
Well, you could just say what you're trying to communicate, and I could assume that you said it well. Because at this point, I actually don't know what you're trying to say.
He's saying, take another great step for your church, so Onan. Let us together make this a symbol of alliance between the 2 great churches of Brevoy. Let us step into the future together.
Father, I don't know about you, but I don't have that kind of authority. And I'm not necessarily interested in it at this point. But I'll tell you what. This letter will go north, and I would be happy for you to pen a separate letter that my carrier will take to your church. And my church will be sending a deacon to bless this place. And if your church happens to send someone else, then it would seem that 2 people of higher station within our church would be present to have this sort of conversation.
I mean, I kind of am that person. I have a 2D affiliation within my church.
With all due respect, my lords, neither of you have that authority.
Exactly.
I actually I bought a 2D affiliation at Character Creation.
Oh yeah, you probably have that authority, but that's not Mason's point. With all due respect, my lords, neither of you have that authority. You read your charter out loud. I remember it vividly. You are already well overextended here. I draw maps, for goodness sake. I know how long we've traveled. This is already far away from the area denoted by the charter. And even so, you are tasked with rooting out bandits. The powers that may be, the powers of the Dragon Throne, may well grant this fort to anyone it pleases. Maybe this is not what you should be talking about. Maybe the topic of hand should be apparently the enemy in the wind.
Mason,
that I hear of now for the first time.
Mason,
With all due respect.
no, of course, all due respect given. Mason, you may not. In fact, it is quite obvious that you are unfamiliar with enlightened Goramism teachings. When an expedition of Goramites claims a fortress for their own, especially in unclaimed territory, but even in the territory of the enemy, it is to become a Goramite temple. Now, that
I'm well enough aware of the precepts of enlightened Goramism that I know that it is not mindless savagery, but it is adherence to tenant doctrine and the rule of law.
And those tenets include making it a Goramite temple. Now, Goram is not a nation state. It is not an affiliation with a nation state. That this would be a temple is no claim on the land. In fact, the only reason why Father Demetrius is making any argument at all is because he tries to subsume everything in his gaze into Abadariism, even though there is a perfectly good trading post.
I am trying
Don't be blinded by your own standings in this. Just because that your tenants denote this doesn't mean that will matter for anything with the throne. You should be looking at what's in front of you. If you don't claim this region for reasons that matters, if you don't make sure that this place is livable, then what does it matter if you want to place a temple here when none of your order will be allowed to come? And I feel like I have an intent here. I want, if you will allow the test, I want to push you. Right, I'm forcibly trying to push your buttons into being like, no, you're a goal-oriented motherfucker. Focus on fixing the place, like the region, before you start staking claims in places that you have no authority to stake claims to places in.
Don't lose sight of your goal. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to resist with the fact that I don't have a goal. Actually, I'm not one of the nation builders, and I believe I am bound only by my doctrine to make this place a temple, and then I intend to leave. Which is where I'm at now. So cool. This is very much a thing that needs to be resolved between us.
I agree.
To go further.
I would like to say I'm rolling persuasion against you.
I mean, do I only get to resist with will, though? I only get to resist with will. Doesn't matter that I have other things like doctrine and Gorm-wise.
I can't beat you. But
I mean,
I still want to make the effort.
Like, how do I get to link my doctrine here?
He doesn't have persuasion, so it doesn't matter. He's not going to roll. He's not going to succeed on an 8-die test.
Well, I do care a little bit. I care. Okay, but all right. You don't have persuasion, so you're rolling an 8-die, is what you're saying.
He's rolling against 8 dice.
So strictly speaking, your will is 5. So.
Is your will 5 or 4?
Oh, right. Sorry, I got that mixed up. Earlier I said my will is 4, but it is 5. My perception is 4.
He's rolling against an odd 10.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to help because I don't want to.
Oh, you're fine. Ob 10, you're good.
I'm not going to help because I don't want to be bound by your failure in this.
I get that, and it's perfectly okay. I just feel like Mason has said their piece, and this is what they would want, and I'm perfectly I'm perfectly in tune with you denying it.
Here's what's interesting, though. Is the consequence of this is that he doubles down?
That's a good question. Do you want to set an interesting consequence, Wreckage?
Yeah. My consequence.
Are you saying like, fuck you, this is where we make our castle, and motherfucker, this is the first point of order? You know what I mean?
It's absolutely that. It's like, no, this is doctrine. I have no other goals. You all with your building up the green belt and all that is Ronald Swan's bullshit. I don't give a shit. I'm happy to help you, Mason, in accordance with our deal until I leave, but I am leaving as soon as my religious duty, having taken a fortress, is resolved. There is nothing for me here because this land is devoid of challenge.
Let's do that.
All right, then.
Okay, so what's your will?
5, as we said.
Okay. Yeah, 5.
You're literally like a fucking... You're just a warrior, dude, and you're just destroyed a barbarian encampment, and you're off. You can leave the settlers for someone else to do.
Yeah, I don't feel like I could make it all the way up to 10.
Come on, dude. Yeah, you can. Spend that fate.
Yeah,
2 dice. Come on. Do it.
I mean, there are 2 6s in there. I'm obliged to do it.
Oh,
double ones. Nope, never mind.
All right.
Fair enough.
Okay, well. too
Yeah, so
bad.
I say all that then. Let's not repeat myself.
No, that's fine. Also, my will advances to 5.
I will say,
Look
sorcerer.
at this guy who knows how to play this game.
I will say,
He's just been cheating the whole time. Just making rolls he knows he's gonna fail.
I will say, sorcerer, you do not know anything about jurisdiction. It does not matter what anyone claims. Here is where we need to stake a claim, for here is where the fight will begin. Now,
I would assume you would respect the jurisdiction of the throne, Sir Tova. Also, my name is Mason.
Mason, you would do well to know your place when you speak to me.
Oh God! Oh, I could invoke a trait here and get in trouble.
To some
I'm
extent,
not gonna.
well, maybe you will, because Onan is like, I believe his place is at my side now, Father Demetrius. And you know how I
You
feel
told
about
me-
this whole
you t-
yours.
I was told that you had not yet taken him on as yours.
I believe I've offered
He
him
is-
quite a
Anyhow,
lot so far.
he will respect my title as well as my authority.
Of course, you're right, Lord Sir Tova. I merely meant to direct our attention where it mattered.
I
I
am
stepped down.
directing our attention where it matters.
Mm.
It matters that we prepare for the end of times.
Father, will you pen a letter to your people or not? My carrier is waiting.
I will, but I would have you write a letter that if you have not the authority to sanction us, I have the authority to speak for my church in order to broker this deal. I am a vested priest. If you have not the authority, I would speak to one who has it.
I don't have the authority to rewrite doctrine and combine enlightened Gormism and Abadarianism. I do not believe a vested priest has that authority either, but I don't know the hierarchy of your church. And I will write no letter in support of this either.
I am not asking for some sort of religious merger. I am asking for allies in what is to come.
The Temple of Fascism.
I can say this much, Father. Regardless of whether or not there is any sort of formal declaration of alliedship, there will be a temple here in this fort manned by Goramites. Surely,
All
that
right.
by its very virtue.
We have to make a test or like something because
Yeah.
this
Well, what do
is
you
just
want?
on and on.
What do you want?
I mean,
I'm not really
I just want Onan to slow his roll and like because I know that I can't put things into motion as quickly as he can because of my church's bureaucracy in comparison to his, even though I probably have more authority within the church.
So what you want me to do is not bless this temple, or you want me not to set that into motion?
Correct.
Okay, I do not want to not do that. And
Do you want me to roll, or do you not want me to be able to roll? Is the real question in my mind.
No, I've already compromised enough. I compromised by saying I will let you send your letter with this carrier as well, but that is the extent. The letter is going, and the letter will bring the people to bless the temple.
Cool.
So, like, that's
I mean,
where I'm at.
I'll just bless the temple then.
I'll kill you. If you turn this into a temple of
Oh.
Abadar when my doctrine says it must be a temple of Gorum, I will run you through right now. And I do not care what the consequences are.
I mean,
So
it
if you
sounds to me like the onus is on Sam here, right? Like you're the one who needs to take action. Onan cannot be persuaded, like by Rekage's words. So will you escalate or will you drop it? And
Well,
just
so
like
my question is, what is he asking me to send a letter about then?
I'm saying that you may send a letter so that your representatives can come.
But I am the representative, is what I'm saying.
Well, then I'm just giving you the opportunity to send a letter with my rider to your people to talk about this. Even to say I'm trying to make allies with the Goramites.
Something you guys have not done yet is appeal to his dad. Or like the leaders of Goramism to be like, hey, take it down a notch.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I'm saying like wait until you can bring your person here for me to talk to them because I am the authority of Abadar in this land. That's why I'm here.
Well, and I'm sending a letter for someone who can bless this temple. I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
So,
why couldn't you? You're a bishop.
I am a bishop, but I don't have the proper miracles and ceremonies, etc.
What does it take to consecrate a temple?
Give it a good old college try. The ritual.
The ritual skill.
Well, apparently what it takes is faith.
I've already established canonically, or at least last episode, that there is a deacon of the stones who does this. So really, it's just there's a person who does this.
So is there a rule needed? Because what I want is for you to send the person who has the authority to make the decision that I want to have them make, and I want you to not bless this as a temple of Durham until I can talk to somebody who can actually make a decision.
Yeah. Well, I'm sending for the person who blesses it as a temple, so I can't do it ahead of time. And the person who blesses it as a temple.
So there's no rule necessary. He's already communicating to the person that they're bringing that person down here. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, I'm like, if I had the ability, I suppose I could have narratively given myself that ability, but I chose that my religion has a somebody who specifically blesses temples.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
So,
was there anything else we wanted to do here before you go back?
Yeah. I just wanted to be able to I wanted Onan to make a decision that he wasn't going to make, so I was like, fine, then send the person that will make the decision.
Well, he was already going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. When you guys leave, the Elizabeth and everybody are going to be gone as well, right?
So the 478 and me are staying in the fort. We have a duty. We have to guard it now. It's a pre-temple.
Okay. That means it
I say that we should just have Count Swan come here then. Because
no. This place is way outside our charter.
Yeah, this is just about me, guys.
Yes.
This is just about me and my religion. Like, you guys should be the ones going back to Count Swan and telling him what happened. I have to stay here.
Conan's gone crazy. He and 6 people will apparently attempt to hold a giant fortress.
That is more than doable.
Yeah, it is more than doable, and it is also our religion.
Well, I think with so what seems to be the case is Onan wants to stay behind, and we can cut forward to Demetrius and Mason arriving at the fort and finding out what happens there.
Yeah.
Does that sound right to you, Eric?
Yeah.
If whoever's going back to the fort can now do scenes with Swan, and the Goramites stay. Raise a flag of Gorham.
Yeah. I feel like Mason says their goodbyes to you and informs you they will return as soon as they're able.
Oh, well, I cannot wait to see what you start cooking up when we do some exploration. Say hello to Swan for me.
Really, in a Final Fantasy 15, he just sets out a cooking tray and starts making some raccoon for you, and you're like, "So is what I had in mind when I said that."
So, one thing, if I may ask that of you, my lord, could you keep the old man in the cellar? Could you keep him here, or failing that, if you prefer, he can walk free? Could you take note of where he goes if he leaves?
I will certainly know where he goes. I'm not going to have some crazy old man with potentially divine powers running around without my knowledge. However, it has already been decided between me and Father Demetrius that his freedom is the kind and civilized thing to do. So he is free to come and go as he pleases for now, until he shows himself to be hostile.
I trust you, and the Father knows what's best.
To be fair, if you go directly south, a straight line from Oleg's trading post, the Stag Lord's fort, this keep, is within 60 miles.
I thought the charter was for 30 miles.
No,
the charter was for 32.
60 miles south.
It was 30 in the west and east directions, and then 60 south.
Yep. But it's literally
the
this is the edge of the charter. It goes to the Tuskwater Lake.
Here's the thing. It would be great for the Goramites to secure the Breviland borders without us having to pay for it.
You're not. Yeah, you're not. We're making a temple ourselves.
Yeah, you're going to build a wall and you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even see why there's. Yeah.
I mean, the only options here are you die or you help me. They both work out great for me. Although, I guess if you died, the thing that killed you might come for me next.
Did we want to spend like an hour doing trade votes, or do we want to like play out a scene upon our return?
You know, at this rate, we made
I would rather do the trade votes.
Yeah, we need to push forward to our trade votes.
All right,
I wouldn't
We have
mind
to
if
do
we
this
just made a trade
resources
vote,
test
but-
as well.
Yeah.
let's do the trade vote.
We have to do
Well,
a resource
let's do the
test.
resources test first, right?
Cool.
All right.
So we went through all that trouble of setting up that fund. So I don't know how that comes into play here.
Well, it's cash.
Well,
flows.
it's AP's fund technically.
Yeah.
We all made the fund, though.
We all helped him make.
You all helped me make the fund.
Yeah, it's his fund.
I super promised you that I would allow everyone access to it, which Mason was part of.
So that'll add 2 dice to all of our rolls. If you
Whoa! Before you say that, if someone fails, cash then funds get taxed first.
Yes.
correct,
As
so
people
it's
fail,
your
it
choice.
shrink.
So it's your choice.
I mean,
So before we do this, I should ask. I heard murmurings last time of
I'll pay for you.
but I heard murmurings last time of skipping Mason for this resources test. Is
Yes.
that a thing we've decided on, or should
Yeah.
I make the roll?
You haven't you weren't here for the full month.
It's true. I am a new arrival.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's only really 2 rolls that can fail.
Yeah. I'm gonna exempt you for this first one.
Arthur
Oh.
sure as shit isn't going to fail. So only
I
me.
might actually horribly, totally fail.
we all have a chance of failing.
I have a really good chance of failing.
Reminding you that the first roll of the evening was 6 dice that came out 0.
Okay, what I'm saying is, like, his resource.
Those odds are
pool is
372,
huge.
by the way.
My obstacle is fucking enormous, dude.
Oh, have you been buying things?
I
He
mean,
has properties.
the question is going to be what level Eric believes I am operating at.
I mean, how much land?
I think it's at least
Technically,
5.
all I've been doing is maintaining a fortress and its surroundings.
Yeah,
but if
but-
I need to maintain a count's court, that's 3 points higher. However,
No.
if I'm maintaining a count's court, I would expect next month to just be like, I have a shit ton of guardsmen show up and a ton of advisors who are like, "This is how you build things, sire."
No, I think it's an ob 6, and I think it's
I'll take
an
ob 6.
I think it's an ob 6 because of your additional I think
Holding.
you're operating out of 5, but you're on the
You've
hook
made a
for
lot of
other
obligations.
promises
Yeah,
and
Pay your
obligations.
holdings.
which
Perfectly
pushes it to
acceptable.
6.
Pay your taxes on your holdings.
Yes, sure, sounds great.
Remember that you can tie like things like accounting and estate management and what'll have you into resources tests as linked tests.
Count Swan,
So
if you
you're
help me,
a wealthy
I'll help you.
baronial court, yeah, but essentially, as far as operating your lands at home, in addition to your lands here, and all your promises of payments and things around here are getting squared away. So,
Count Swan, I will help you if you let me use the fund and help me.
I mean, I expected both of those things to happen up front, and I would like to go first, just because I have the most to lose on failing,
Yours is going to be toughest.
and then loan it out to everybody else.
all right.
But I'm
I also
helping
help.
I will,
Or
yeah,
do you-
if you want to, yes.
Yeah.
I will go to
We're all in
Mason
fund.
and be
I know.
like, Mason, I'm glad to see you back. We have so much to talk about, but I'm about to come into some business contacts, and I was wondering if you've been thinking about merging your associates with my associates. It'd be a great way to get to know each other better.
Your manipulation works astoundingly well. Mason's eyes light up like a little puppy and it's like, are you saying I will get a chance to be personally schooled in the world of finance by the Great Swan?
Absolutely.
I will take that offer, sir. Thank you very much,
That's
my
Count
good
Swan,
lord.
but I do appreciate the Great Swan. I might look into changing my... The Great Swan. Nah, it's... I'll let it roll around for
Your
the...
houses of
It
great
sounds
and famous reputes. I would very much appreciate the chance to learn from the best.
It sounds a bit like a legendarily large bird, Your Grace. I'd suggest sticking with Your Grace.
The dire swat. Okay.
Thank you very much, Your Eminence.
Onan, did you say you were chipping in on that? Okay, so I have a cash die, which I'm absolutely going to blow on this.
By the way, Eric, was that money I found a cash die?
Yes.
Nice.
So I have 13 resources. God, I got it. Like, I want to keep my persona, so I'm not going to blow it. If they don't fuck this up.
That was quickly.
It's green. It's green.
So hard. All 3 greens.
So good.
Bam, 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 bam,
I'm
bam.
going to absolutely repeatedly roll that.
Ooh.
5, 5, 5, 5, 5.
That's 10 successes.
That's
5,
pretty
5,
good.
5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5,
I
5.
literally-
5.
I have a throne constructed and placed on the back of a wagon that is slowly rolled in a circle around Oleg's trading fort, while that young squire sings, "I'm so fancy."
I'm so fancy.
Don't forget to mark your tests, boys. You're helping out.
Yes, the rest of you get a test as if you were against difficulty 6, which would
Yeah.
all
Oh, whoops. I
Essentially
don't
challenging.
need another challenging test, though.
So, when I commented that I would love to learn from the best, that totally happens because Mason goes from dead poor with 1 cash die to having a resources of 1. So,
Yep, I also increased on that.
welcome.
Did you have 2? What was your resources before?
My resources was 1.
Didn't you need a routine test then?
Yeah, I did. I also had one
Nice.
before. I had that
Nice.
marked anyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
That helps. That'll help you because yours is going to be a tough test.
Is it?
You're maintaining the 478th.
Oh, do I maintain the 478th? Nobody told me that.
You have a gang.
I've been telling you that over and over again. I've been
Yeah.
like,
I'll go
really
next. I
won't
think
be able
mine
to
is pretty
afford
simple.
this.
I think the book has something to say about this. It's in big, bold letters in the resources
Here's the
chapter.
deal.
It reads,
You are
"Get a
maintaining
job."
yourself as a knight with horse and armor and weapons. That's ob 3 to start with.
Yep.
So I would like to lobby. I'm at ob 3, but I think it's kind of in reverse because I'm maintaining Sir Zidomar and his horse knight or his horse armor and weapons, and then I'm kind of like the squire or second in this picture as far as spending goes.
You haven't really been living that large.
You
No,
have
I
not
don't-
been living large at all. You
No,
It's very
You've been
strange.
but
literally-
I
you've
have
been-
to pay for my
Yes.
body, man. So like,
Yep.
Yeah. So is this a 2 or a 3?
I was thinking ob 3 because he's a knight with weapons and armor
Yeah.
and a horse.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense then. Yeah.
The cost of like a squire.
The lifestyle of both of you is 3. Yeah.
Cool. So am I getting help from folks then?
I'll
you're
help.
the fund.
So the
Yeah,
fund is
sure.
+2.
Yeah.
I'll throw in.
How many dice would you be rolling versus
I'm
what obstacle?
starting with. I need a routine test for any sort of advancement, and I am going to be starting at 4 with my resources plus the fund.
Well, I guess I should ask, will you accept Mason's help in this?
Yeah. I think this is like us sort of like talking and getting our contacts on the same, doing what like with Count Swan, what he was talking about. So yeah, Mason will help. That would be 3.
I can't even advance on routines, so I'm not gonna bother.
No, please throw in. We don't want to fail.
Can somebody tell me what
I
the
don't want to
advancement
get
fee
taxed
is? 'Cause
though,
I don't
right?
remember
Like
off
if
the
you
top of my head.
fail, I also get taxed, right?
What?
Yep. If you fail, like everyone who helps get taxed, including me, that would drop me to 0 again.
You did promise you would help me.
I just said I would help.
What about the advancement that you have a question with, Wreckage?
I wanted to know what the 2 to 3 was for numbers of routine and difficult.
You can change it on your sheet. And
So
it will.
you need 2 routine and 1 difficult or 1 challenging test to advance from 2 to 3.
Thank you.
No problem. I have a handout called Test Obstacles Reference Sheet that tells you
Gotcha.
that stuff.
I will click on that in the future. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And the sheet will show you what you need. Oh, but it just shows like the letters. It doesn't have like the order.
Yeah, the sheet doesn't tell you everything you need to know.
Let me
yes.
ask a question, Eric.
Let me
I
answer your
just-
question.
I just had 10 successes, right?
Yeah.
I regularly have a 7 resources. can I just generate a cash die to give him for this role rather than aid him?
That is a
I
thing you can
really
do.
don't want to be involved in his horrible failure coming up.
Yeah,
but
you just give him the remainder of the money that you just been paying people, and you're just like,
Yeah.
there you go.
It's like, here's a cash die. I don't want to be involved in your failure. Your success gets me nothing, but I want to help you out beyond just the fund.
Let me assist you in your financial endeavor.
Are you
Here's
really-
what I
wait,
scraped
so
out
are
of
you
my boots.
Okay, but are you giving to him like no strings attached?
Yeah. So when
Alright.
when Father
helped
Demetrius
Do
comes
you
to me
accept
with
his money?
Do you?
Count Swans.
Yeah.
We were entering into a business arrangement.
Yeah, I feel like maybe you come in with your taxes and I'm just like helping you file them. And I'm like, oh, that's going to take quite a bit. Here, let me just see if I have anything left in my pockets for you. And I pull out like 500 real quick.
Yeah.
That should
Roll it up.
cover it between friends.
Look, I found this gold piece in the
Alright.
folds of my sleeve.
So that cash die is another 1 die.
Go. You got to beat a 3.
I kind of want to do this just because I think it would be funny. I kind of want to open end my resources with a prayer because it's so very Avatar.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I mean,
It's so Avatar.
Your
really-
faith
Oh
is
my
gonna
god.
counter
It really
blow up
is.
in your face.
So
Failed every single time.
Look,
surely if
I'm gonna
Abaddon-
say this. I'm gonna say this.
So-
If he says a prayer, I'm no longer helping him because I don't want to get bound to that result.
Yes, everybody's helping him. Yeah.
fine. I'll just roll it up. All right.
Maybe you
That's
sit down
good.
and do
That's
a
good because I was
prayer.
gonna say the consequences of failure is fucking Ronald Swan.
Demetrius, there's no need for prayers here. We've got this. You've got more than enough money on you.
Oh,
Fine,
that-
I'm re-rolling.
I'm so glad I'm not involved in this right now.
You guys should have let me pray.
So
Are you
know-
sure that's all right?
Oh,
good.
you just got it.
Check.
Just so you know, the next resource cycle, you have to deal with the payments of
Mr.
the
Tovitz,
auditors.
he doesn't even know about it yet.
Yeah, he doesn't even know about it.
Does he though? Because
Oh.
wasn't AP's intent that the bill be forked to the queen or
Yeah.
the king or queen?
The
Didn't he-
House Sertova is what he
Oh,
said.
I know. No,
Yeah.
it's gonna be built there, but no, there are gonna be some people showing up about it.
Okay.
What the
Well,
fuck
I
are
have
you
3
doing?
dice of affiliation with the House of Sertova, so I should be fine.
Being like, why the
Directly to
Demetrius? Why the fuck are you spending money on auditors when you're supposed to be killing bandits? You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have that
Yeah.
conversation in the future.
We
I
got
sent
rid
it to the office of Laurenthal, by the way, just to make sure that the queen got it.
Someone shows up with a bill for personal injury.
and I didn't even have to spend my cash die.
Well done.
All right, so let's talk about
Surrounded and his
what's the-
gang.
what's the fuck's my obstacle. Okay, so
Here's
they're not
the
my
deal.
retinue as a noble. I don't pay for their shit. They're all expeditions. Like they're all individuals who bring their own shit.
I mean, by the book, you pay for your.
No, by the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are responsible. You bought them with your resource points when you made your characters.
So here's the deal. You aren't maintaining the fortress yet, which is Ob 5, but you also aren't maintaining a single knight, which is Ob 3, so it's not unreasonable to say this is Ob 4.
Exactly.
sounds like
I
an
was
Ob
gonna
3.
say it like if it was just you, it's Ob 3, but with your group, it's Ob 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have the fun
Anybody
die.
helping me?
Honestly, I'd rather not help you. I'm super
Yeah,
afraid I'm going to
this
get
one-
taxed.
This
I
one
love
is.
my resources.
Everyone's like,
I mean, two fun dice is a lot, buddy. I'll tell you what. Can I do the trick of just giving him a cash die again? Just being like,
You have to roll for them.
I
He
mean,
didn't
I have
use it.
7 dice, and it's a difficulty 2.
Yeah,
There
no,
is a
you have
thing
to
in
no.
resources here.
You fucking roll that dice, dude. You roll that dice
All right,
after this.
very
one.
well.
All right.
I will
Cash.
send a bank letter to Onin, and hopefully it goes through. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Thanks for all the shit you did. Like thumbs up. Like. Oh yeah.
Nice work. I heard you killed the Stag Lord. We need to talk later about your reward. I was thinking that instead of plate mail, which maintaining it costs. Did you know that plate mail cost 5? You could maintain a fortress with the amount of money it takes to buy it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Armor is expensive.
Okay, you got it.
And you know what? I'm gonna drop a fade on that ass. Just because.
All right, yeah. So he's Mr. Moneybags gives you some money.
So I want Onan to succeed. And as a measure of good faith, and to show him that I'm serious about our alliance, I will help him and give him my cash die.
Cool. Thank you. Help him and give a cash die. Well then, Mason.
Are you putting any stipulations on the cash?
A Sertova doesn't forget where his money goes.
Okay, that's fine. Mason.
I've already expressed my desire.
Oh, it's been so long. It feels like we
seen
haven't
each other
talked-
forever, man.
Oh, next year in Israel. Anyway, I've got a huge amount of dice now, so I probably won't fail. Would you like to help and make it even more likely?
Was someone generating like cash dice to help you out?
Yeah, I'm up to a modifier of 6 without your help.
Okay. Yeah. So sure. I mean, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's throw in. What's the worst that could happen?
Can I spend Artha on this?
Yes, you can. Persona and Fate.
Okay, I'm gonna spend 1 Artha on this then. And
I could bless you in your.
Don't you touch me with your fucking bullshit. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that was close.
I will re-roll those 6s too for the hell of it. Oh,
You owe me for helping you.
to some extent. 1, 2. All right, 6 successes on an ob 4. I maintained. I pay the tax, man. Everything's fine.
I at least get to advance my resources.
My resources advance.
I think
Hooray.
I think there's an appropriate quote for Thrain about this.
Never look a gift horse in the mouth.
No, about or about like upkeeps or whatever. Like some kind of like logistics quote about how like logistics tactics win battles, logistics win wars, or something like that.
An army marches on their stomachs.
Armies march on their stomachs, but they wear your money.
I found a quote. No, this is what Thrain has to say about it.
Oh, good dude.
My logisticians are a humorous lot. They know that if we should ever fail, they're the first ones I kill.
Great, excellent. All right. Now we're all best friends and sharing each other's money, and then there's the orgy later. How about that trait vote?
Yeah.
Let's vote some traits.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I have no idea how this is supposed to work.
So this is kind of just like a round table of putting forward, like, hey, do you think we get this thing, or
Yeah.
I think I deserve this. And
I should probably have the book open to the traits section.
Someone needs to be secretary for this. Like someone needs to take notes while we do this.
I would like to put forward we all get a deeds for finally finishing off the bandit threat.
I swear to God, if we all get a D just for talking them out of the thing.
I don't think it's deed worthy.
What? We literally, they were like, go out there, secure the border, and we're like, done. We're done.
I know.
Let's talk about that when we get to Arthur.
And I argued about that and was told no, none of this was deed worthy.
So we're doing no. Well, let's do the trait vote first. All right.
Okay, I'll take notes for this then.
Okay, I was going to, but that's fine.
Okay, that's fine. You do it. I don't want to do the work. It's fine.
He's the GM, man.
All right.
So what needs to
at the end of an extended adventure, the GM and players nominate characters to receive new traits. Going around the table, players discuss each character who participated in the adventure. Possible traits are suggested for all the characters. After all characters have been discussed, the players vote on the traits suggested for each character. The owning player does not vote for his own traits. A unanimous decision grants the trait. Character call-on and die traits can be awarded. All right?
Right. Yep.
For short adventures and scenarios, I recommend that characters be allowed only one new trait from the vote. For longer epic stories, 2 or 3 traits is a fair limit. So let's limit it at 2.
Right. And we can go with any kind of trait, not just a character trait?
Yep.
Cool. So the first thing we normally do in a trait vote is starting at one character and going through all of them, the player will nominate himself for losing traits that are being played against or is no longer relevant, or the GM can nominate traits to go away.
I've got one that I want to get rid of.
Yeah.
Then let's start with you.
Demetrius has the bearded trait from being a Sertova, but he does not wear a beard.
That sounds
seems
like
obvious.
it should go away.
All right. Eric, you're being the note keeper here. You should take note when the suggestion for voting away a trait is the player's and when it is yours, because there's a difference in the amount of votes needed to pass it.
Yeah. No. So bearded -.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we suggest traits.
No, we still go around and talk about other nominations for loot.
Everyone removes their traits first, so we have the vote to remove traits first, and then we have the vote to add traits after that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Your lordship. Let's see. You're not very. You did end up playing predatory by the end of today. Are you actually ambitious?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Or are you just reckless?
Sometimes they look the same.
I know. All right. No. Okay. So bearded -. I'm fine with that. I don't think you should. I don't see any of them. You technically lose.
I agree that bearded could go, and if it's suggested by the player, it only needs a majority vote to pass that it gets removed.
And I also think bearded should go.
We agree. So it's gone. Bearded is gone.
Cool.
Okay, who's next?
If we're going around the table, you.
Okay. I don't feel like I have any traits that should go. That's my take.
You're rabble rouser, respectful of one's betters, arrogant, curious, risk taker. Yeah. I don't see any of them.
I don't see any that should go.
I don't think you played against any of those.
Okay.
Cool. Next up. That was easy.
Yeah. Cool. Sir Onan.
I don't think any of my traits should go.
Can you read them?
Yeah, sure. If Eric would stop clicking away from where I have them. Eric, stop clicking away from where I have them. Okay. Somebody else stop then. Hard work, pious, strong-willed, mark of privilege, disciplined, sworn to the order, your grace, and thick skin.
Thick skin?
Thick skin. You are so thin-skinned.
Yeah, you are extremely thin-skinned.
I do not agree. I don't actually care about any of the shit that has happened. I have put up with Ronald constantly insulting me and have done nothing about it. Way again.
Let me put it to you. As an observer, I feel like he takes umbrage with a lot of stuff and does something about it. Like he calls it out. He doesn't just wear it stoically.
Exactly.
But thick skin is literally that you are hard to incite into an argument, which I have walked away from almost every argument.
No,
I mean, you walk into a lot of arguments. You're just not willing to throw the dice.
Yeah.
Which is literally what thick skin says.
Nah, I don't feel like that's what it
You
says.
are not incitable into
This character is unaffected by insults, nettling, and nagging.
All right. So
it's insults
in that case,
specifically, and I have actually been completely unaffected by insults.
in that case, what needs to happen here is Wreckage does not agree that it needs to go. So this is suggested by the GM, which means it needs a unanimous agreement for it to go. If there is not a unanimous agreement, it stays.
You mean unanimous with the player?
No, the player doesn't vote.
Oh, but if everyone else can overrule him, essentially.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I vote to overrule.
I mean, thick skin literally says you take insults.
I push to remove thick skin.
I just don't feel
have
like
done.
he has stoically taken insults. I feel like he fights back a lot.
You do a lot of pushback.
I feel like there is not a lot of thick skin going on. I at least I feel like I can see Onan is taking some of it, but I don't feel he does not give enough of a fuck for it to be a trait.
Yeah, that's the difference. Is that it's the shit is hitting you and you're throwing it back off of you instead of just letting it slide off you.
Yeah.
You're like,
I
you know
vote
what I mean?
for
That's the
remove.
But I
difference.
haven't. I have let it slide off of me almost every time.
I mean,
I don't
not
like the other
but you make
person.
a big fuss about it. You're like, look at all this shit on me. Look at all of this shit on me. Instead
it's a
of letting it
unanimous
just...
agreement. Everyone has said to remove it.
Yeah.
Well,
We all-
like,
yeah.
I
We agree-
completely
we agree with
100% disagree because I've never ever said anything about being insulted.
Dude, 4 people think that we've been playing
Well,
with you
let me actually
disagree.
finish my thought. I have hated the character for it, but I've never said anything in the moment ever in character, and you can watch back the videos. So the trait vote passes, but the people who watch back the videos are going to say, oh, that's absolutely true. He's never said in character anything in response to being insulted, and it's a die trait, by the way. So you're voting away a trait that gives me dice.
Well, that's a good point. We should take
it's a
note of
1
that.
point. It's a 1 point trait though.
So
Do a
here's the
thing
thing.
you don't do, which is debate.
Hold on. So my thing is that it's not even necessarily that he's like always like responding to the taunts, but like it definitely seems like he takes action, which doesn't imply to me the thick skin. So it's like even when he's not responding to Count Swan, he like goes and like clearly is affected by what Count Swan said.
Yeah,
I will
right.
say for a and this is like my basis for this, right? Is that you have a belief, like you have a series of beliefs and have had those based on the fact that Count Swan is getting under your skin.
Yeah, that exactly.
No, that's fair.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
okay.
And in the future, if you want to like lobby for like, no, Count, like Onan should be thick-skinned, he should let this wash over him and not give a single fuck. You can play to that and like put it forwards, and then we will take it up for consideration in play.
In my opinion, if Onan didn't have a thick skin, Swan would be dead. So that's
You
my
don't now. You don't now.
If you just murder anyone who disagrees with you, I feel like you're going to end up in jail fairly quickly. But sure.
Also,
I
that's
mean,
the
it has
opposite.
been
Yeah.
it has
I
been an
murdered
entire
everyone who
month of you
disagrees.
telling me that I don't have a noble title, that my house doesn't exist, that my religion is irrelevant, that I don't have command of my own men, that you literally tried to make a persuasion roll that I don't have a noble title.
That's true.
Like, those are the things that I have been thick-skinned against. Not like, oh, you smelly. Like,
Are there other traits that Onan is eligible to get, like that we want to nominate Onan for losing?
I mean,
I'm
the
not aware
audience
of what you
wants
have
him to
for
lose
traits.
your grace, but that's super fucking harsh.
No, I don't agree.
I mean, he has been telling people not to call him Bishop Onan Solston, but
I still am Bishop Onan Solston.
Yeah, there is no cause to vote
technically
that off.
anyone who doesn't address you as Sir Onan is eligible for death, but
His status has not changed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I also think that, like, if you want to also, like, now that you don't have thick skin, like, if that's what you think, like, you could just stab him.
Okay. I probably, actually, now it's gone. Thick skin's gone, so I no longer need to take this bullshit. Just wait till he says something.
Yeah, that makes it easier for you to act on your belief too.
Cool.
is there a trait like bearer of burdens or something?
What about Count Swan? What are we taking from him?
Dramatic.
That's good. Is there something for Count? I feel like Swan is very pleasant and like tries to be like very like I'm gonna like rub elbows with everyone. I don't feel like feared is an appropriate trait for me.
No, I've let the feared out quite a few times.
I don't think that's ever happened.
Really? Remember when I dragged Mason outside with a sword?
Oh yeah, there was that.
Remember when I threatened those guards people with the sword?
So
I
I don't-
I've played to feared quite a few times.
I don't
No,
feel
still
like that is
remember
the
it because I
feared
try to be
trait.
nice.
I feel like that is an entirely different trait. So maybe what needs to be the case
Yeah,
here is
and-
this beard needs to go and be replaced by something that better fit what you're doing.
Yeah, and when you took Mason out by the sword, it wasn't in a commanding and I'm scaring people into submission way. It was in a I'm paranoid as shit about how this is going to go down. Like, I need to defend. I'm going to cut him down if it goes wrong. Not like I'm trying to make a point here.
I was trying to make a point here. I was
Well,
like,
you didn't say that.
listen, no, I said exactly that. I was like, dark sorcery, huh? Why don't you show me some fire and earth? Or I'll kill you. I mean, it was literally the stakes.
I feel like there is a good like. It seems to me like you Swan has like something. You have something against sorcery, right? There's something in your background that's against that. Yeah, it seems like maybe that trait be replaced with something appropriate to that, like maybe like biased against sorcery or something like that, or like.
Yeah, I like that. I
can
agree.
see that.
Is that unanimous? Except for your...
Yeah, I feel like I can't bring it up, so I'm actually sorry, sort of doing something I'm not supposed to now. So much apologies for that. I can't nominate you for losing a trait. Only Eric can do that, and yourself.
We're nominating. Hold on, I have to look at your sheets.
I need to look at the list of all traits, which I still haven't found in this fucking book.
Yeah, good luck.
It's in the back of the book. Like, scroll all the way to the back of the book. In the index, there is a long list of traits.
Can you give me a page number for that?
Sure.
So the trait list in the book starts
like 590s or so, like 580, 590s, like literally the back of
trait,
the book behind the index.
Trait index starts at 584.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
What does self-satisfied entail?
It means being extremely self-absorbed and just being like, I'm a cool guy.
Well,
Oh yeah, okay.
who is that?
Oh, that's his trait for sure. Your Eminence. You have
Excessive
free.
satisfaction with one or one's achievements.
What's free?
Free is, in this case, that we live a free society. That fealty, for me, I've been playing free as fealty comes not from like you must follow me, but that I pay you to follow me. That I expect services rendered for payment. And the people of Southern Brevoy, where I come from, all have the free trait.
Oh,
Our houses
that's right.
are all
Yeah,
free.
they're like liberty.
Yeah.
Yeah, life, liberty, and all that stuff.
I'll remind you that rather than go around and you know, kill someone's cow and insist that they must follow me, I've been like, hey, come on, guys, follow me because I'm paying you money and because it's a good idea.
I do think that he has been, well, I don't know. And then other times you're like, random person who I'm not paying, if you don't respect my authority, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, but
And
that's
yet you wanna
just
take my
Ronald
beard
Swan
away.
being
Come on,
free,
guys.
right?
I mean, it can't be both ways.
Well, no,
I mean,
it can, because people can not be afraid of you, and also you can be not letting them make up their own mind. I don't know. I'm just saying it's on the table. I don't feel strongly either way.
I think murdering dark sorcerers who show up in your house in the middle of the night is not something to take away freedom for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eric,
I
are you
don't-
going to nominate?
I don't think
anything
I
else?
don't. I can't justify taking away any of your traits.
Cool.
I'll
I
work
think-
on being more
I
feared.
I feel like feared should go away, but that's fine.
I'll work on more fearsome fearedness.
So did we talk about feared? Because I just remember speaking about it, and I don't know if we voted it off or if it's still there.
I said no, and Eric just also said no.
Cool.
If Eric says no, it's can't be.
Yeah, Eric is the only one who can nominate you for losing traits aside from yourself.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So the only traits we've lost are bearded and thick-skinned.
yeah.
Now we can go around and start.
All right. I might
picking a we pick a character and then we start voting on traits.
Niren,
that
you
they
said
can
something
have.
about when you lose a trait, you get to replace it.
No, but we can replace traits, right? So in the case of I suggested that feared could be replaced by something more appropriate to what Count Swan is embodying, right? Instead of feared. So that's how we could do this. If we lose a trait, but we lose it because we feel like it should be something different, then there's a basis for going above the 2 trait limit.
Okay.
We're not actually adding another trait; we're just changing a trait.
Yeah.
And then we
Okay.
add.
Well, so then I can nominate for
Yeah.
thick skin to turn into something else.
Yeah, if there's a basis for that.
Listen,
Okay. Well, I have an entire list of traits to read.
I would love to not. If you started wearing the Stag Lord's helmet, I would love to I'll nominate Onin for that hat-based trait,
Oh,
impressive hat or whatever.
impressive hat.
Impressive hat.
It would be fucking amazing if you were just like the new Stag Lord with your hat, and everyone's like, "Have you heard of Sir Onin Solstead?" And they're like, "The guy with the antler
You
hat."
got that hat?
Antler man.
If only.
Antler man.
I don't remember what that goddamn trait's called, but I want
No,
you to
it's
have
called
it.
impressively large hat or something like that.
Impressively large.
It's impressive hat.
Oh, it's just
Is
impressive.
that what it's called? Does it give you anything?
Yeah, it gives you a die of reputation.
Yeah,
As
I mean,
as the guy with
that's the other thing that we're doing when we're trait voting, right? Like we can gain affiliations and stuff.
Well,
we can't gain affiliations. We can gain reputations. Affiliations
sorry.
has to be gained through play.
a trait can give you an affiliation though if you get the right trait.
Yes.
All right, so
But yeah,
let's do Onan first. So
No,
let's-
I'm not ready. I'm super not ready.
Let's go in the same order then. Demetrius and then.
I think we should.
Okay, let's
Honestly,
do
I
the
think we
same
should
order.
do Niran first because he actually knows the book backwards and forwards and can more.
No,
Oh.
let's do. All right, then let's do Demetrius first. Okay. Let's look at traits. So once again, we're gonna take turns. So we're focusing right now on Demetrius. We're all going to put forward traits to be voted on.
Yeah, we can each vote, like, each of us goes through and nominates him for one trait, including Sam nominates Demetrius for a trait. And then once we have 5 traits in total, one for each of us and one for the GM, we vote 2 of them on.
The owning player doesn't vote for his own traits.
That's correct.
A unanimous decision grants the trait.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the important parts for voting.
Yeah.
So I start, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, I know
you
what trait I want. I don't think I deserve it yet, though.
Well, you can put in the running, right?
I eventually want to have an aura of holiness.
Oh, you super don't deserve that. God, we were even thinking about taking away your faithfulness trait. Like we didn't. Obviously, we moved past that, but
here's the thing, though. Like, like the big thing is, one, you have to keep in mind, like, miracles don't happen all the time. So, like, it's not expected that the priest is going to call on the divine, and the divine is always going to answer. And like, the big thing is, like, for like all of the fact that Demetrius has like failed most of his faith tests for miracles, like, all of my beliefs have always stayed about, like, everything that I've done has been towards my service to Abadar and what I believe about the end of the world.
I agree. Insofar as there can be said to be like a common type of miracle worker, which there can't, right? But insofar as there can be, they would probably typically be able to achieve like an up to faith test, whereas you have achieved more than that.
I would be willing. I don't know. We have to talk about it after, but I feel like a reputation of you being a miracle worker might be in order.
We talk
reputation.
I've seen by miracles, and we established that it's not common.
I mean, I would just say that everybody who knows you is making fun of at this point how your miracles backfire. So you could have a reputation as a miracle worker. I think that would be fair. But
I have great
as
respect for him.
Bad miracle worker.
I mean, but like they haven't like backfired. It's like that's like out of character. Like, you guys don't see me rolling dice in character. You know what I
So
mean?
what?
I mean, people are.
What are you actually nominating
All right,
yourself
I'm
for?
nominating you for devout.
Okay.
Cool.
So what did he nominate himself for?
Aura of holiness.
For Aura of Holiness and Devout. I'm nominating you for Stubborn.
Stubborn is just the secular version of devout.
Sam as a character definitely has stubborn.
I wanted to nominate you for Infallible Religious Logic, but I went for a die trade instead because you have spent Persona and Fate on like argumenting and like trying to like stay to your guns.
Sure. Yeah, that seems fair to me.
I guess we need a nomination from Wreckage and AP.
I had one. Give me a sec.
Secretly worships the Black Sea God.
Obliging.
What is that? I
There's nothing to it. It's just a character trait.
Oh, cool.
I feel like you've definitely played it very well.
You've been very obliging.
I'm just trying to make friends and make you guys actually work together.
Yeah, you have a belief about that now too.
Mhm.
So yeah.
This is a stupid question, considering how many episodes and games we played. What do you call on traits do other than break ties?
They break ties or let you reroll all your failures.
Yeah, they have a condition in which you can reroll.
What's it cost to let you reroll?
Session.
One per session.
You can either break a tie or reroll all your failures once per session.
Okay, thank you.
I can also, because we could do this at character creation. I can propose a trait that is not in the list, but it does is not a die trait, right?
Yeah, you can not you can you just say something you hold to be true about Demetrius Sotova.
Okay.
And determine if it's a character trait or if we need to give it mechanical impetus. That is something we can decide.
I say he's nosy.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
So, what are the nominations, Eric?
So far we have Aura of Holiness, Devout, Stubborn, Obliging, Nosy.
Cool. So we started the first, I guess, and
Aura of Holiness.
I don't feel like that, not yet.
Nay.
No.
I won't even vote for it.
Yeah,
he won't even vote for it.
I just want it.
The next one, Devout.
That one I think.
Yeah, I feel like he's devout.
Sure.
I don't feel like he's breaching his dogma at all. So yeah.
Devout. Wreckage.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. He has all of his things are my religion. So even if
you gained Devout.
Yeah.
Cool.
Stubborn.
I vote yes on this one as well.
Okay. I vote yay.
I
for
vote
Stubborn.
no.
I vote no.
Okay.
All right. Well, someone. As soon as you vote no, it's over. As soon as someone says no, it's over. Obliging.
Yes.
All right. There's your two traits. So, I guess we don't even vote on the last one because we already said you get up to two traits.
Yeah, I mean, we could alternatively we could see how many
true.
get.
Then we might cross out the trait. I don't know. Yeah. The last nosy.
I don't think so.
Okay. There we go. Minus. Wait, you don't vote on your own trait anyways.
Yeah.
Oh right.
I would say no. I don't think you're that nosy. I think you're curious, if anything. I don't. But you are getting. I'm definitely going to pay attention to that the next time we play.
Sure.
So you have gained Devout and Obliging character traits. All right. The next one on the list I have is Mason.
Okay. I would like to nominate myself for what do I want to nominate myself for? What do I hold to be true about Mason? This is not something I have had the chance to play into yet, although I feel like I have a bit based on the way I represent their sorcery and based on the fact that I've put Fate and Persona towards my sorcery skill. I feel like I want to nominate myself for Second Sight, which is the ability to perceive the spiritual.
It's a powerful trait.
Yeah.
I mean, I nominated myself for a 7-point trait, so I'm.
All right,
Yeah.
what are your?
I have not actually pretended as if I could see stuff yet in play, but that's what I'm nominating myself for.
I would like to nominate you for disturbingly confident.
I have an idea of what I want to nominate him for, but I'm not sure how to put it.
Obliging.
Yeah, obliging is pretty good. It would be like soothing platitudes, the trait, because like you're frequently letting your mouth get you into trouble, and then just being like, "Oh no, my lord, I do apologize for my words."
You could just call it soothing, and then let it be a call on for soothing platitudes. If that is like what you're aiming for.
I'm looking for the one that I wanted. I'm looking for. Yeah, soothing. Are you thinking about? Oh, is there an actual trait for soothing?
No, but it's pretty easy to make traits in this game.
Yeah.
I would like to suggest something that I think to put forward here. This in a similar vein of disturbingly confident. Show no fear. I think going unarmed against an owlbear.
Yeah, that's actually a good one.
So Wreckage and Sam, you guys have you're allowed to put forward something for voting.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find a good one.
I know, it's tough. There's a lot of weird, crazy traits in this book.
Alternatively, like you don't necessarily have to commit to like an existing trait. You can just say something you hold to be true about the way you perceive the character, and we can mechanize it if we feel like there's grounds to do that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to decide if I want it to be like I'm kind of thinking like up jumped might like be like a good one. Is like he's like him hanging out with these three lords has like kind of made him think of himself as like being equal to them.
Yeah, I mean I do have the arrogant trait already.
Oh, that's fair. So that's probably just covering that. So I think I'll go with soothing, for like him like, you know, getting himself into trouble and then immediately recanting his statements and like saying soothing platitudes.
I'm gonna go with. I think he's played up an amount of naivety, and like he doesn't seem. He seems thirsty for knowledge, but he also doesn't seem like streetwise. Basically, is what I'm saying.
One of the things I hold to be true about this character myself that I feel like ties into what you're saying is I hold Mason to be a very idealistic person still.
Yeah, so sort of, I would say at this point we haven't heard any of his ideals, but we have seen some naivety, which does tie into that. So that would be my thought. My if I had to put something forward, I would put forward naivety.
Okay. No.
Naive is a good trait.
All right, let's vote on him. Second sight. I'm gonna say no, not yet.
Well, that's off the table then.
Yeah. Okay.
Disturbingly confident.
Yes. Wow, not a lot of yeses.
I'm going yes on that.
Is there
There's nothing to it. It's just a trait.
Oh, it's just a trait. Okay. I mean,
I don't know. Is that different enough than arrogant?
I don't know that it's different enough than arrogant, is what I was going to say.
I was disturbed when I was leading him outside with the sword, and I was like, "Huh, he doesn't."
Maybe we upgrade. Maybe arrogant evolves to disturbingly confident.
You know, maybe that.
Use the
I would say.
keystone on it.
Can I say yes for that? Can I say the
I'll say
transition
yes
of
for
arrogant
that
to
as
that?
well.
I don't see why not.
I would take that.
Wreckage.
What is this one? Yes for.
Disturbingly
Upgrading him, replacing arrogant and upgrading it to disturbingly confident.
No, I don't feel that either, because you wouldn't call on disturbingly confident in some of the places where he's called on arrogant.
That's actually true.
Yeah, and he's really, really called on arrogant. I'm not in favor of anything that removes his arrogance. Like maybe
Okay, I guess
add
that's a no.
disturbingly.
I guess that's a
Yeah.
no then.
All right. The next one is show no fear.
Nah.
No. All right.
Okay, too late.
It's too late. It's voted off. Soothing is the next one.
I'm going yes.
I'm gonna go with yes as well.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, okay.
All right, Mason doesn't get anything.
No. The last one is naive.
Oh yeah. No.
I would vote yeah. I'm voting yes, but too late.
No.
You
vote
voted
no.
anything.
He's like, I know things. I know terrible things, deep things that should be better left forgotten.
Well, he doesn't. He's saying the exact opposite in his character, that he doesn't know enough.
I mean, yes, but he knows things to begin with. He wants to know more.
The scene that strikes me as him not being naive is when he like pushed back at me and Swan when we were trying to make him cast magic. It's like he wasn't so naive as to know that was like that's just the thing that's jumping out in my mind that is one for
more than meets the eye. All right. So no traits for Mason. All right.
Transformer.
Yeah. Onan.
I'm still not done reading.
All right, listen. I was going to nominate him for Proud, but then I was like, no, I'll give Alert. That's good. If he ever stands in duels, he can instead shit himself and start aiming the crossbows. But then I found this really great trait for Onan called Fearless. And I feel like that's what I'm going to nominate him for.
Yeah. Fearless? Okay.
Fearless.
I want to nominate Onan for Aura of Determination.
Really?
That's,
I feel like
that's a very
it's a big one.
Era.
I feel like every time Wreckage brings something Onan believes into play, like every time there's a belief on the line, there is no dilly-dallying around. It's like, I'm gonna go to the fort now, and I'm gonna taunt the Stag Lord until he fucking comes out here and we play it my way. Oh no, we're gonna go into this fort now, and we're going to make them surrender to us. You don't have to come, but I will go. I feel like there's a lot of I'm projecting and I'm trying to assert my confidence to everyone, and I feel like that's Aura of Determination.
Whoa.
so
That's pretty good. I was gonna say commanding. I'm gonna put forward commanding presence, or maybe it's called Aura of Command. It's commanding aura is what it's called. Commanding aura.
I was thinking stubborn.
Stubborn is also very applicable.
I would be
more inward to me.
Could stubborn be the replacement for thick-skinned?
I mean, I think
I'd
we
say
should
yes
just
to that.
vote on the trait.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just
Let's
as a
put stubborn. You already lost thick skin.
well, I know.
God.
I know, but But he said it.
That's why we can put in trait votes, and you can get a trait. Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Do we have nominations for everyone? Or do we have not yet seen a nomination from Wreckage, right?
Yeah, so this is one that basically other people said the things that I was going to say. Here's something that I would like to put forth.
Charging blindly.
Comely.
Come on.
This would not change the items that I have. But through our one shot and subsequent play, we discussed my sword being a family heirloom, which is a trait. And I wouldn't suggest that it turns it into a masterpiece or whatever. It's still just a sword. But to have it on the list as saying you have a family heirloom.
I kind of like the idea that it would just upgrade the sword. It's it turns out the sword is of dwarven make that has been passed down that Thrain,
I agree.
It doesn't upgrade. Family heirloom doesn't upgrade swords.
It doesn't. It says it allows you to take an item that's a
I know. So what it would do is it would retroactively make his sword have been that item that he took.
Yeah.
I mean, for
I'm
50
with that.
RP, you can't buy a magic sword. It would just still be a sword.
No, you could buy a dwarven sword for 15 RPs. Yes. It's in the door. It's specifically that.
No, I mean, it's strange to me that we're retroactively turning the sword into a dwarven sword.
Well, the thing is,
you don't have to go
Spartacus and being hey, Spartacus, how's it going? And everyone's like, who's that guy?
I mean, you can just vote against the trait, but that's what the trait does.
yeah,
I want to vote yes for family heirloom because he's been playing it up, but I don't want the sword to suddenly transmaterialize into another sword.
It's not that the sword is changing; it's our understanding of the sword.
Wow.
Us in character.
Still role playing as Father Demetrius right now. The way you're looking at the sword, my son. How you?
I mean,
well, so here's what I'm saying is we don't know where the sword's origin in character or out of character. This would cement us knowing what the sword's origin is out of character.
it would essentially just be a matter of something that was hidden is now unveiled.
we could something that we could do to appease both sides here is to get the family heirloom trait without upgrading the sword.
Here's the thing.
Then when we role play finding out its origin, we come back with the next trait vote and say, and now it also becomes a better sword.
It's a moot point anyway, because the character can only take this trait if he starts with 20 or fewer resource points.
So what we could do, because it's still like you're still nominating yourself for a trait, and you're still bringing up the point that your sword is something you have aired. So you could make another trait being like heirloom blade. Just like call it that. Your blade is an heirloom. And now it's a character trait, but maybe if you spent like persona on something relating to your sword in the future, and like, no, the sword is something, it's important to me. Invest yourself, role play, spend Arthur. Then we could turn that and be like, the sword's true potential has been opened by your like devotion to your family. That could happen.
That seems good to me.
All right, so why don't we go voting down the list then of things? It seems everyone's proposed something, and we've discussed. We discussed, heirloom blade. Then.
So what's at the top, Eric?
Yep. Fearless.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll vote yes.
That's a huge trait for you, buddy.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Yeah, you're getting
all these paths. You're going to be an incredibly powerful character.
Aura of determination.
Yes.
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 You don't get to vote on yourself.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm just saying yes because that's my opinion.
Uh-oh, Sam's face is a little shaky.
So here's my struggle with this one, and maybe you guys can talk me out of it, is that all of his big moments of like struggle and determination, he's done on his own. Like he's purposely like moved away from everyone else. And it's not like he's like bolstering the 4/7/8 and leading them into battle and like bolstering their determination. It's like he's like, you guys stay here. I'm gonna go take care of this on my own.
Well, that was true.
Yeah, it ain't no St. Crispin Day speech.
No, that was true for the Stag Lord, but
also
in
like
the first half of the game, there were several. We're going now. Like the 4/7/8 is going now to rescue Laurenthal. We're going now to ride out to save Laurenthal.
Well, let me walk through some examples, right? So we have you charging Elizabeth on your own to kill her horse.
That was not on my own. The entire 4/7/8 was on horseback with me, and Arthur was on the back.
I was riding on that horse too.
Yeah, and
I know.
Both of us were like, "We're doing this now," like fist bump, and then we did it.
Okay, but you also have like the owl bear. You have the duel.
The owl bear was a team effort, though. He took a dozen helping dice, including a blessing, and I would have helped out too if I hadn't passed out.
Yeah, and that literally the only thing I've done on my own is fight the Stag Lord. That's the only thing I've done.
Didn't like to go like deliver the message and stuff. All right, I'll give it to you.
That's all yeses then. So Fearless and Aura of Determination. I can only get another one if we agree that Stubborn is a replacement to Thick-Skinned.
Or we still vote on the others, and like if the others are yays too, we could either decide that you get to pick your pick of the lot, or we could say like this is definitely more appropriate than another one. There's no call to not vote on the others just because the two first nominated have been agreed on.
Okay. Next
right,
then.
What's next?
So that was Aura of Determination, and then Commanding Aura.
Has Onan even rolled command?
Yes.
Yeah, several times.
Many times.
So what's the next one after that?
Stubborn.
I vote yes. That is definitely something I would say is true of Onan.
Yeah.
I would vote that as a replacement for what he lost.
I would vote for Stubborn, but I think I'd say no on Commanding Aura.
Yeah. I thought we agreed it was no on Commanding Aura. Okay.
Oh, that's my bad.
Yeah. Then Stubborn.
Yeah, I think Stubborn is a fitting replacement for Thick-Skin.
Okay. So then Fearless.
And then there's Heirloom Blade.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Well
All right.
then, that's all set and done.
That is three die traits.
Yeah.
Strong
Those are
character.
powerful.
Okay. I've lost one die trait but gained many, which is fine with me. I'm totally happy with this.
You
lost a die trait for a thing you don't use and got 3 for things you do use.
You aggregate you in aggregate you gained I think like 12 points in traits and lost 1. So you did pretty well in this one.
Look at this guy doing the math.
Oh my.
Well, thank you very much, friends.
Last but not least, I guess.
Arthur.
No.
Count Swan.
Ronald. Yeah, Jesus. Come on.
You can't change my die traits. Don't worry. I've got lucky.
So I have something I want to nominate him for, at least.
Oh,
I want to nominate an upgrade of Imperious to Imperious Demeanor, because Arthur has put a lot of persona towards being like to be very bombastic and very, very verbose. And essentially this would upgrade the character trait to a die trait.
Colon.
Colon. But it adds a colon for command, I think.
Circles. More
Circles, yeah. That's right.
see here.
Ooh, it's a life path trait. You can vote in life path traits?
I feel like, what?
Can you vote in life path traits? Because it's a life path. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can. I want to nominate him for Imperious Demeanor. And I feel like it should replace Imperious.
I would like to push for a Noblesse Oblige for myself.
Somewhat. What?
Noblesse Oblige.
I'd have to read the
It's
trait.
one of the traits. It's the duty of the nobility towards the lesser peoples.
Okay, this description.
Opens up a fourth belief spot.
This line is all you need. He has been raised with the idea that not only is he privileged, but he's obligated to perform his duty to society.
Yeah, Noblesse Oblige.
Player may add a fourth belief to his character. Must be one of the following. It is my duty to guard society and uphold its interests.
I am responsible for the people.
I am responsible for the people.
To the people.
All right. Yeah. No. Okay. Right. That was Arthur's nomination. Who nominates next?
Eric or you?
Who?
I haven't, but it's me, you, and Eric. So if you've got one, go ahead.
I'm still thinking.
Let me open up your things and make sure I'm not giving you one you already don't have. All right.
I'm wondering if there's a thin skin.
I'm nominating Swan for quick-witted.
Alas, I admit it. My defendants got acquitted.
And so he's actually got a thing for when he like rebuttals quickly with a quick thought.
Yes.
He gets bonus dice, and he did that once.
I mean, I would love to keep doing it, but I never have duel of wits with people.
What does
I see you in the chat. I see you in the chat calling for chosen one.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I want faithful before I have chosen one, so that I could get gray shaded faith, and then, unlike my friend here, I would be able to succeed on threes.
Hey.
Unlike my friend here. Ouch.
I'm tempted to.
It would be incredible, by the way, to get faith and then be a better faith sorcerer than you.
I really do wish that you had actually played up either Faithful or Chosen One so that I can actually, in good faith.
I mean, I feel like I pushed Chosen One kind of interestingly, but only on your behalf.
You could have like a trait that is he is the chosen one, which is like a character trait, and then that could eventually be upgraded through like the arc of the character to be more.
I agree. I think like either like all of the Church of Abaddar needs to recognize you as the chosen one, or you need to like actually start believing you're the chosen one for us to like.
So are you gonna give me the trait could be the chosen one? Question mark.
No.
That's not really a trait.
I mean, I thought we could make up traits. That
we can.
Character traits with no.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna nominate you for something a little bit. I want to.
I'm worried.
I say that's not really a trait, but there's a trait for fancy hats, so I'll retract.
I mean, listen, if Wreckage had gotten the fancy hat trait, it would have been fucking incredible. I want for the next trait, but I want you to wear that thing, man. So
I as much as I want to have the fancy hat trait, like I've already said what I'm doing with the thing in character.
I mean, once that deacon shows up, just be like, you don't need this thing anymore, right?
Hat. I got a fancy hat.
You're like the Commander Shepard of hats. You're always just like taking your helmet off and leaving it somewhere, and then they just do long scenes of looking just at the helmet while you voice over.
Ugh.
I think like arrogant would be good. Like something to like reflect the fact that he just like looks down on everyone.
Really? You couldn't just give me something cool like oddly likable? No, gotta give me arrogant. Thanks, buddy.
You could have like something like pompous.
Pompous is perfect. That's got to be in here.
It is.
Pompous
It's a character trait. 1 point.
Yeah, let's give you. I'll vote for pompous. That seems
All right.
pretty.
There's one more left over.
That was the one I was gonna do. So now I have to think of another thing.
What did you vote for, Eric?
I put forward quick-witted.
Oh, that's right. Quick-witted. I gotta look that one up.
I think I can't dominate more, but I want to mention that there is a trait I think is appropriate to Swan that is called just a little bit crazy.
Ooh,
Ooh,
okay.
I'll tell you what. I'll let you do pompous, but I'll nominate Pegboy. Just kidding.
Wait, are you just kidding?
Yeah, but that is an actual trait that you can get.
On the suggestion of Nier, and I will, without meaning it, a little crazy, just a little bit crazy.
Just a little bit crazy is a good one.
I mean, the only other things I could nominate would also be jokes like a little fat, like remarkable flatulence.
Here I am. I give you fearless.
Okay. Now
This is what you give to me, Wreckage?
No,
No,
you know what? You know what?
Thin-skinned.
Arthur, give me a suggestion. He took my pompous one, which is what I was
chosen one.
No, of course not.
And like that, see, we've got a problem here.
Connected. Joan of Arc is a trait.
I can vote for you to have palsy. Jesus Christ.
Somehow I'd hope at least.
You know what? I'll give you a call. I will vote for a call-on trait for you.
What about charismatic?
No, I've got it.
Charismatic is a call-on trait. For
Pennywise.
persuasion.
I like Pennywise. That's good.
I will nominate Pennywise for how you have played your character.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's vote.
Doesn't Pennywise have some really dank thing that goes with it?
Call on for resources.
All right.
Yeah, that's right.
Imperious to imperious demeanor. Yes.
Yes.
So what does that mean, actually? What does that change?
It gives him a call
A
on.
character trait to a die trait or something.
It gives him a call on.
In what situations?
It gives him a call
when I
on
talk
for
to lower
circles.
class.
Yeah, call on for circles when
For
he's
falsehood when trying to hide true okay. Or no, call on for circles when dealing with anyone of lower rank or station.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll say yes.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Cool. Noblesse oblige.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you got two now.
Yeah. What else?
Everyone's getting some powerful traits.
Quick-witted.
No.
No.
wow. Thanks,
Grand-
guys.
Fucking wreck.
Grandiloquent. Yes. Quick-witted.
Pompous.
Not.
What was the next one? Yes.
Pompous. Yes.
Yes.
A little crazy. Is that
Yes.
right?
I
Or no,
put
no,
it
you
forward
got, no,
to-
wait. Or were you joking about that one?
No, that's the one I was joking about. I ended up going with
Oh,
Pennywise.
Sorry, last one's.
And I'll also
All
say
right, Pennywise.
yes.
Yes.
All right.
Well,
Well, you got voted on 4 traits, dog.
No, but he can only have 2.
How do we determine which he gets? Like, do we let Arthur pick his favorites, or
I think
do
we should probably discuss which ones are the most him.
Yeah.
So the 4 on the table are Pompous, Pennywise, Imperious Demeanor, and what was the 4th
Noblesse
one?
Noblesse
oblige.
oblige. I
Noblesse
feel like Noblesse oblige just has to stay because
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
true to the
yeah.
character.
Honestly, I think Imperious demeanor and noblesse should stay.
Sure. Good with me.
No. I take that back. Noblesse oblige and Pennywise should stay.
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah.
core.
because then like he's
that's his
still
ethos.
imperious even when he doesn't get imperious demeanor. Like, and then the other one is Pompous, which I really super think he should have, but also I'd rather him have call on
He's
traits.
super fucking
Actually, I will-
Pennywise, dude. He
I will,
literally scrounged up the pennies and leftovers of his resource roll to give you money to make your.
No,
dice.
I know, I agree, but I also think he is super pompous.
I will lobby for
My personal list would put Pompous and Pennywise before Noblesse Oblige, even though I do think he has it.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about the game.
Yeah, it's true.
We can break the limit if it just had if everyone agrees it just has to be this way. And I feel like just every nomination that we agree on is so true of Swan's character. So I want to put forward as we're technically replacing Imperius with Imperius Demeanor, if that goes through. I feel like we could okay all of these. I would be okay with
that.
all of
And
I'd be okay with it.
I mean, Pompous doesn't actually do anything, does it? It's just he's Pompous. Yeah. So So he gets two that actually do something. So here's what I'll say. I would rather he get two that do something and Pompous, and Imperius just stays as Imperius.
Yeah.
As opposed to turning into Imperius Demeanor.
Sure.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Cool.
Right, so you get what? Noblesse Oblige, Pompous, and Pennywise.
Yep.
Pennywise.
I think that
Cool.
is
For a while there, I was agreeing with Dr. Wreckage though about how while there's no doubt that AP has or that Swan has Noblesse Oblige, it's more important that everyone else sees him doing it.
Yeah, it's so much more about that. It's so much more about that. But no, I think this is a valuable compromise.
Yeah, this is good.
So that's a complete trade vote. Now, I want to suggest before we move on to Arthur that we quickly do a round of reputations, if any reputations have changed or if someone should be gained.
So I have said on multiple occasions, and have still not rolled for it, but multiple occasions said that I send back reports of the expedition's accomplishments to the Church of Gorham. I would say that has some effect on my reputation with the church. But I think really the effect on that reputation will come when I say that I soloed the Stag Lord, and that letter's going out. Hasn't gone out yet.
Yeah,
I mean, do we? I feel like next session, this is the end of an arc, right? So next time we pick up is the start of a new arc. I feel like surely those exploits could be known to the church at that point. There's no need to wait for another turnaround for you to get that reputation. I feel like it would be okay to give your reputation based on that now.
Do you already have any kind of reputation with the church, though? Because you're the one who said that Onan doesn't see those as great accomplishments, so he probably wouldn't write a letter as though they were great accomplishments. You know what I mean?
I do have rep with Gorham. I had the necessary amount to have the gang of them.
Right. So you have a reputation with the 478. Is that reputation is not necessarily extend to within
the church? Yeah, to the church as a whole. So I have 1D with my 478 is what I have. I don't have 1D within the church.
I feel like it would be cool if you got a reputation within the Church of Enlightened Goromism. I feel like Onan Solstent would be a name in there.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, that's sort of what we've written the expeditions to be about, which is going out and seeking these things. So even though Onan holds himself to a very high standard, other people will be like, oh, and he soloed the Stag Lord in his own territory without any help. That's actually a pretty...
Yeah, dude, there was this bandit that everyone was hearing about, and you killed him, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so 1D of rep with the Church of Gorham then would be the only reputation I think I would...
Slayer of the Stag Lord.
I have to pay.
I also feel like you should have. I feel like you should have a 1D reputation with the expedition.
I have already 1D of expedition. I have to have that for them to be my followers.
Oh no, not the 478.
Oh, the expedition is the 478. Everybody else is the charter.
Sorry, yeah, those with the charter.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess that depends on what the rest of the charter people feel about that.
Is there any possible point to creating a charter circle or reputation?
I think that's too small.
We would just be calling on each other, right?
So here's the thing, right? This group of this merry band of brothers that we are right now, we're what's being sent here to cultivate the land and what is going to develop into the next arc as being the people who settle this. And I feel like having Onan, I feel like all of you would have a reputation with the OGs that came here to do this shit in the first place.
But that's us.
No, but he also means like the 12 guardsmen, the hunters and farms people, Oleg and etc. He means like this is the original group, and they all know each of us now.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a thing.
As just like each of us get a D as the people who dealt with the bandits.
Yeah, something like that. I feel like that's appropriate.
Seems reasonable to me.
I would give that to everyone. Yeah.
Can someone explain to me how Pennywise works?
So it's a call-on trait.
Right, but call on is to break ties, and I don't think you can.
And to reroll failures once per session.
It is to reroll failures.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I'm going to take a hell of a lot more risks.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I need challenging tests to advance, and when you have 6 dice, challenging tests are really goddamn hard.
Well, every challenging test is impossible unless you spend Arthur. So.
No, you spend Arthur.
Oh yeah, sure, whatever, man.
Anyway,
So
so it sounds like I get 1D with the Church of Gorham, and everybody's going to get 1D with the OG charter.
With the fort or whatever we're going to call it, with the trading post.
I think OG charter is actually fine. Original gangster charter. North side.
The south side. We're literally the same.
No. We're the north. We're the Oleg's trading post is on the north.
the north
then
of the south.
everything else.
Southernmost border.
Did we decide whether I got a reputation with the church as a miracle worker?
We have not talked about that.
We should talk about that.
Should. I think you should.
I mean,
I
Here's the
don't
thing.
know. I don't think it should be related just to the church. I think it should just be the regional thing.
Yeah.
I think you're a dude who does magic,
Yeah, I mean,
You're a miracle
People would
worker.
speak of that.
right? Yeah, like people exactly.
I feel strongly that in character, even if it was somewhat in jest, the majority of
Dude.
in-character conversation has been how his miracles have gone.
Yeah, it
Have
does.
but here's the thing.
So
If in
fucking
real life,
God listens to him.
if in real life you saw someone do one miracle, it wouldn't matter if they failed to do the miracle the second time. They did a goddamn miracle.
People worship other people as gurus who have never done a shit in their life. All they've done is just like
Yeah.
demonstrably.
Dude, I cannot
fail
wait.
and be
I
manipulated.
cannot wait till you guys have a fucking town and like every single mom is like asking you to bless their child. Just
Hell
you
yeah.
cannot do anything. Like you cannot leave unless you're incognito because people are like, "Oh my god!"
Drown in responsibility.
I mean, he saw.
gonna
Everybody
be
saw him
annoying
turn the
as
gate
fuck.
into rust when he tried to bless it.
No, the first time I cleared
Succeeded
it,
and
No,
then
the first
turned
time.
it back into rust.
that was when nobody else saw that.
So
We
That
saw
was
the
out-
gate turn into
Let me
rust.
put this forward. Let me put
Look,
this forward.
all I'm saying is that he should get the 1D of reputation, but the reputation should include
No.
that it is dubious. His miracle working is dubious.
It's not
He's
the,
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Okay, so no one's measuring the quality of the miracle. We're measuring the fact that miracles are happening in the first place. The fact
Right,
that
yeah,
you
so-
can fuck up a miracle is just as significant.
The reputation is miracle worker, not great miracle worker.
No one
or-
else can cast a spell related to a religion.
I
Right?
feel like miracle worker is totally appropriate.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be regional too. Like that word would spread.
That would be 2D.
And rumors would be like you cured Oleg
No,
of
no,
his
so-
arm, like you touched it and he cured
Also-
his arm. You know, like
also-
things. People will misconstrue everything you've done now.
That's not a D with the church. That's a regional D.
Yeah.
Father Demetrius.
Yeah, so that's 2 dice.
You have 2 dice with the region?
A regional reputation is a 2-die reputation.
So what that would mean, mechanically speaking, is people who would be positively inclined towards Abadar, or who would in some way of respect be swayed by the fact that he is like a known miracle worker, he could leverage his reputation against those on a regional basis.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I would like to put forward that Swan gets at least 2, if not 3 dice for green belt. As
Greenbelt.
Lord. The region we're currently in is a green belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Greenbelt is a good deal bigger than the map.
I've been You might remember I've been trading around with a lot of people, communicating with those in other cities from afar. I may not have been performing miracles with miracleism. I have been performing miracles.
Yeah, I understand the 2D for being a miracle worker, but I do not think you get 3 dice with the green belt.
I would say
done
2
anything
dice if we're going to go regional.
I
But
feel
I have
like
been drawing people here, sending out reports. No? All right.
I feel like Swan was sent here to clean up this place, right, and make it like feasible for people to start cultivating the area, which he, as one of the people who held the charter, has succeeded at. And I feel like he would be recognized for that. I feel like a 2D regional reputation as like a great lord or something to that effect is very appropriate to his character.
Okay,
Like,
but if
for
it's
this
just
area.
because he fulfilled the charter, then shouldn't all charter holders get that?
Yes, to a greater or lesser extent. Although I will say that I feel like Swan is the one in the most optimal position to just harvest off of that, because he's basically been like he's been turning that soil for a long time, right? Everything he's doing is about look at me, and I'm totally the poster child for this expedition.
I'm Tiberius Stormwind. Laconia.
Yeah, I feel that. So, Ronald, you get what, a 2-die affiliation?
Yes.
Reputation.
I mean, it sounds like also, it's a reputation. You have to pay for affiliation. By the same token, I would think that Onin also gets it for the exact
I'm
same reason.
inclined to agree.
Yep.
All right, 2D green belt.
What is it? The Saviors of the Stolen Lands? I don't know.
I feel like it would
Well,
be.
Stolen Lands are pretty big there, bud. We're not there yet.
What the
Something
Listen,
of
we
the
gotta
Green
wait
Belt.
for Onin's spin-off show.
The something of the
I think it
Green
would
Belt.
be something like Agents of the Throne.
Listen, I don't work for the throne, motherfucker. You get out of here. Get out.
Reclaimers of the Green Belt, something.
Yeah, Reclaimers is good.
Or Swords. No, how about we call it Swords of the Stolen Lands? You guys are the people who reclaimed it.
So are you saying, Eric? I just want to make sure you're saying this right. Are you saying that here these people from Brevoy, who are in fact lords, are now also reputed as the swords of this place?
No, the Sword Lords of Restov were the people who wrote the charter.
Yeah, I know. I'm just angling like maybe you are up and coming sword lords as of this reputation.
I mean, some of us are.
No. Sword that requires like training at like a dojo.
That's true. It's more of like a title appropriate to the martial skill of the person.
It's a black belt thing.
Yeah.
Can we press forward a little bit though, because we are running a little.
Yeah, I
bit.
know we are running. This is a late episode.
Yeah. So can I take a 1-die reputation with the fort for Demetrius Rocky foring me like in the beginning and be like, look at this guy, this motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely. Yeah. Only what is it? What is this reputation? Spooky man.
It would be something equivalent to what Demetrius said, right? It would be like, this is like our. Look at this. This is totally a winning. Like this is a winning element of what we got here. So it's like something that overblows my competence or something. Like it's important or like in
magnificent.
It could, it's like
Sorcerer Supreme.
sorcerer. Yeah, it could actually just be like a reputation for being a sorcerer. People would, if people were negatively predisposed towards that, then it would count as infamy.
Sorcerer, we don't kill.
I like that. No, like I think a die. Yeah, no, that's a good point. A die reputation of sorcerer.
Cool.
They're like, all right, kill the sorcerer. They're like, wait. That's the one with the beard. We don't kill him.
He's cool. He'll curse us though.
He's cool.
Awesome.
What's that?
Can we talk about practice time? We've had a month, right?
Let's talk about.
We're running like way late.
Yeah. Let's talk Arthur, I think, because there was a point being brought up about deeds.
Yeah, that's more important. So my original intentions of the game was to kind of like jockey for deeds at the end of like the big chapters. So I'm leaning towards awarding a deed. But I mean, over the course of play, we did agree that deeds. My when I started out, my idea of what a deed is versus what they actually are different.
What you mean is, in the process of saying no to Dr. Wreckage, you are now obligated to say no to everybody else.
I mean,
feel like
we completed the exact definition of a deed. We completed something greater than ourselves that took.
No,
more.
I was told that that's not what counts. I was told that a deed is when you deviate from your expected path.
So a deed is, just to reiterate, I think we've done this a couple of times. A deed is when you accomplish something significant that is not just in your best intention. Like you do something in that heroic final moment where you're like, I could step on the throne now. I could claim the throne and the kingdom, but instead I will hand it to the rightful heir. I have done my duty.
I'm an idiot. I would take that.
Exactly. But in this case, it could also be accomplishing something that is way greater than yourself. An example of this is, like examples from play of this is reclaiming the dwarven homelands from the dragon, or curing a village of the plague by invoking a great miracle to do so. Those have been awarded with deeds in play at Luke's table, as far as I'm aware. So I feel like in this case,
those sound like just accomplishments, not deviating accomplishments.
Yeah,
and that's why I was like, "Hey, soloed the Stag Lord, soloed the Owlbear." You know,
deviating accomplishments does not have to be also greater than yourself, right? It has to be like a great accomplishment.
You resolved the bandit issue that was plaguing Southern Brevoly.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like that's a deed, right?
All right.
And even if that wasn't the case, we didn't actually just put them to the sword and hang them. That we elected to go about it differently, because we could have just done that. We could have been like murder hobos about it. But instead it was like, no, we solved the issue, and now some of these people are like being reintegrated as citizens.
We'll see about that.
All right. So deeds. We get deeds for that.
Cool.
The next thing, though, today we have to do our beliefs and everything like that, but then we're also going to be looking at embodiment, workhorse, MVP, and everything like that as well. So we're looking at some extra things as well. Okay, and then we can get out of here. So, I'm sorry, Sam, to keep you.
No, it's good. It's good.
All right. So who wants to go first about their beliefs, instincts, and goals, and go?
I'd like to thank fate for trying to lay down New Barracks House.
Yeah, you work towards it.
I would like to take fate for trying to get the arbitrators on my side.
Yep, that's definitely your persona.
Briefly, for the 5 seconds they were listening to me. And that's it. That's all I got.
I would like to take fate for attempting to learn this thing's name.
I think. Yeah. Oh yeah. I would give you fate for that, Sam. I'm just going back to look at my notes here real quick.
And fate for observing Onan closely. I didn't have a chance to try to get him and Swan on the same side, but I definitely was like very much like trying to like act on the signs that I saw around Onan.
Oh yeah, no, you were definitely, especially the conversation with him. Yeah, about the consecrating or sanctifying this place for the church, for sure.
And then I'm mark of privilege and ambitious all over this session.
But you didn't get in trouble for it.
Well, but the ambitious, I think, definitely took play in a different direction. And
that is true.
I don't know about mark of privilege, but I did have like that scene where I basically just like told Mason that he had better mind his betters. But
I'm not gonna kill you for that, though.
I don't think I would give you. I'm giving you one fate point for it. I'm giving you one fate point for both of those. Especially the thing about taking the money, combined with the I'm a Sertova, I can write this thing off. That whole deal was very cool, interesting, and I think that was an unseen direction kind of thing of you taking that money. So I fate for that.
So I would like to fate because I worked towards doing the ceremony on the temple, and also I mentioned I'm just gonna fucking leave when I'm done with the temple. So those are basically my first and third beliefs.
I can't believe we got it.
Yeah, you work towards for both of those.
Okay, 2 fate for me. Next.
I feel like I want to take fate for. I have the first belief about the people Now that the bandits are gone, people will want to consolidate their power of the region, and I want them to take my advice. And I started like cozying up to everyone and helping on resources test, although it could have bankrupted me in one swoop and almost did with Demetrius. So I feel like I put myself on the line there.
Sure.
I also feel like in my interaction with the old Kotcher, even though I didn't successfully talk him into it, I did put myself out there to try and like learn the mysteries of the region.
Oh yeah, to be like curious and that kind of stuff and mission. Yeah. So that's 2 feet.
Yeah, I feel like I always lash out before backing down. Didn't get me in trouble. I elected to not do that with Demetrius. If I fail, blame it on something else. I didn't do that. Did I do
fail at anything?
Yeah, you didn't do that.
Arrogant, curious, risk taker. No. I think I'd take 2 fate.
Okay.
All right, that's the beliefs then.
Swain? Oh wait, we already did Swain.
Yeah, Swain. Don't turn into a bird.
Really?
Boatswain.
Anyway, yeah. Now the other thing. I gotta go to the bath. So can we? Yeah, hurry.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so now we do all the persona and all those arthas. So, embodiment, capturing the mood of the table perfectly, furthering driving the story onward. Moments like great speeches, desperate actions, or gruesome revenge fall into this category.
Is embodiment the session by session one?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Isn't it?
No, embodiment is session. Sorry.
Yeah. So just for this session, who was embodiment?
I feel like
Niern, hands down. Okay.
Oh, well, that's true too, though.
Mason's stuff with the old man.
Yeah.
Was all over it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Demetrius, or I mean, that word.
Mason. All right. Mason gets embodiment. Boom. Next thing.
Mold breaker. Role-playing your character in a believable, engaging manner that forces your beliefs into a decision that changes it. Maybe not anybody.
I think I would like to nominate myself for Molden Breaker simply because Demetrius came on this expedition thinking that he was gonna put himself in charge as the Sertova, and he ended up deciding that somebody was the chosen one of Abadar.
I'm not going to agree, and the reason I'm not going to agree is because you came here talking about how you were going to look for signs of the end, and then you rolled that into the Chosen One saying, this is part of the end. So I think even doing that was in mold.
I'm inclined to I can see an angle for the mold breaker in what you're saying because I this might be a stretch, but bear with me here. You came to the region to be a leader. You're a Sartova. You're a miracle worker. You're a representative of the Church of Abadar, an embodiment of civilization. And here you come to save the day, loud hurrah. And then you get caught in this power struggle between these two guys, and where you could have just completely used this power struggle to undermine them, crush both of their influences, and been like, I'm a holy man. Yea, ye people, come join me instead of dealing with these two assholes. You are now in a position where you have elected to make a belief about making them cooperate. You are trying to make this thing happen instead of being like, I am going to use the power vacuum to ascend. You're being like, no, I will fix you. I will help you.
So maybe it should be Workhorse then, because I'm the one who's always trying to keep this group together. And I was the one who actually dealt with the bandits.
You weren't.
That is my argument for how you could argue Mold Breaker. And I'm not sure that's appropriate. I'm just putting it out there.
No.
And I don't think we saw any of that stuff, is the point.
I think Workhorse goes to Swan.
So can we actually just talk about all of them? Can we name all of them and what they're supposed to be and then go down the whole thing?
Yeah.
I think
so Workhorse is being the most relied upon in a given scenario. Obviously, it cannot be Demetrius. Your roles are horrible.
Yeah, that's a pretty gay commentary, but yes.
I love you. I love that you're pushing for that stuff, but it can't be you because...
So can you repeat that?
You're not reliable. You're eager, but not reliable.
All right, so the most reliable in all circumstances is what it said?
But here's the other ones, though. Workhorse is being the most relied upon in the scenario, and then MVP is being the character who drives the story to its conclusion, the character who shines in the last moments, who everyone agrees, damn, we could have done it without him. So MVP I think would go to Onan.
Yeah.
And Workhorse to Swan.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
I get
Those are
nothing
Persona
for
points, by the
actually
way.
talking the bandits into surrendering.
Now, you didn't do that, though. I want to be very clear about what happened. They were going to leave. You talked half of them into staying. All of them were going to leave just because I killed the Stag Lord. So you didn't do anything.
That's not how I remember that going. But okay.
I would actually like to put forward Moldbreaker for me all the way back in the episode where I tried to kill my sister. I had this issue where I was trying. Really? No, just no outright.
Hands down, no.
I had a belief about speaking before violence and immediately just outright.
You spoke, though. You spoke and gave her a chance to repent, and you said, if she doesn't repent, then I'm going to kill her. And you gave her the chance to repent. You spoke. We went out with a flag of peace and talked, and then we turned it into violence. So you still followed that.
Yeah, I think as like a character, Swan is the person who we've seen change the least.
I don't think anyone got Moldbreaker. I would have said that one of Michael's characters got Moldbreaker, but he's not here anymore. And I don't think anybody here, the three people who've been here the longest haven't changed at all, and the person who's come hasn't had time to change. So I say no one gets Moldbreaker.
We could give Moldbreaker to Laurenthal in case you want to circle her up in the future.
I would give Moldbreaker to Laurenthal.
We should just give Moldbreaker to the priests who showed up and were like, we're going to pull a little prank here. Oh, shit, we just spent all our fate. Now we need a little bit more. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, those were supposed to be allies that I wrote for. Oh, well.
I just don't think
Okay,
any
that's
three of
fine.
us have had any change.
That's fine. All right, I think that's it then.
All right. I think, that was a long session.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that'll do it
Talk
for
in
us.
the Discord when we got time about practice.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we'll
do that later.
We will capture up all that and then recap it. But,
This was
Outro.
actually an incredible fast trade vote. Trade votes are notorious for taking a session.
yeah. Good job, everybody.
Outros.
Yeah.
I have to go to the bathroom real bad.
Yeah, I
you
got
go.
it.
You go first, Wreckage.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wreckage. I do this and I GM on other channels and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be maybe starting things with Eric and maybe starting things with other people, and who knows what's happening in the future. You should follow my Twitter to find out all about it. Please follow me on Twitter because no one ever does when I ask them to, and I am sad. Next person.
I'm Sam. I'm on AP's channel on Fridays for Mouse Guard and here on Sundays. Boom.
Yeah. Daniel.
Yeah, hi, I'm Daniel. I run the YouTube channel Charisma to AC, where you can find more Burning Wheel and you can find a Werewolf the Apocalypse play. Also, I intend to put more roleplay related content on the channel that presently has like a guide video to something and a few clips of Pillars of Eternity, all of which I intend to catch up on once this dreadfully long-winded part of my life dies down. Until then, I'm playing here on Burning Wheel.
Yes. Good luck with all your spy things that you're doing.
Okay.
Your espionage-related activities. AP?
I'm Arthur Perkins, AP Gaming Real. I'm launching 2 new campaigns this week. One is the Sprawl Cyberpunk, and the second is a naval exploration D&D 5e game. I also play Civilizations 6 every Wednesday, and more crazy stuff coming. So
Wait, you're doing a naval exploration?
yes.
Sounds
I
dope.
wanted
as
to
fuck.
base it off of when I came up with the idea, I was like, this Pokemon Sun Moon sounds really cool. And then Moana was like, hey, we're Moana. And I was like, this is sounding a bit like Moana as well. So now it's blended into a whole bunch of things. Polynesian Grecian mythology.
Polynesian Grecian?
Yep. Polynesian.
Oh, you're
Man.
doing like an Odyssey game?
Yeah. It's
Man.
also a little bit like Final Fantasy 15, where it's 4 young men going out on a quest on a sailboat together.
Because one of them's getting married, and you're just gonna, and apparently it's not a big deal, and you just take your time.
Should be
And
getting
then-
married.
Meanwhile,
fly.
a 1 hour and 30 minutes long video passes, but in the span of a 5-second cutscene.
Okay, cool. And I'm Eric, and I do this. It's Never Sunny and Duskfall on Saturdays, Once Upon a Game on Fridays, and also on Saturdays, I'm a player of on Silent Osiris's channel, where we play King Arthur Pendragon. So yay, games. Yeah, awesome. So that's it. That'll do it for us today. Take care, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. See ya.
Bye.
My cat is going nuts right now.